Good afternoon, everyone. So, as we are talking about the layer of the tunica media, layer of the eyeball. So, today we will start with the middle layer, middle layer, which is also known as the tunica media and also known as the tunica vasculosa. So, middle layer of the eyeball, which is completely, surrounded completely around the eyeball, which is except for a small opening into the front known as the pupil. So pupil is not coming under to the medial layer of the medial layer of the eyeball, but surrounded the eyeball, the surrounding area of the eyeball, which is made up by the middle layer also. So there are three layers which is comprised of three structures, which is choroid, second is ciliary body, and third is iris. So first we will start with the choroid. What is choroid? Which is the thin vascular layer of the eyeball, and it is situated between the sclera as well as retina. So basically वो कहाँ पे situated है? So जो choroid है, which is a thin vascular layer, okay, and also it is situated between the sclera and the retina. Now it also forms a posterior 5/6 of middle layer. So what how it will form? So it will form like a posterior 5/6 of the middle layer as well as choroid, which is extended anteriorly up to the insertion of the ciliary muscles. So how long the choroid layer is situated? So it is basically it is form a posterior 5/6 of the 5/6 area of the eyeball. Second, the choroid, it is also extended about anteriorly up to the insertion of the ciliary muscles. So it will start from the anterior side of the eyeball. From that it is inserted into the when the ciliary muscle which will be inserted. So choroid, which is separated from the sclera by pericordial space. Anteriorly, this space is limited by the insertion of the ciliary muscles into the sclera. As well as posterior side, this space stands at a short distance from the optic nerve. Inner surface of the choroid faces the pigment epitheliums of retina. So at the anterior side, the choroid, which is and onto the anterior side, the space of the choroid, which is limited by the insertion of the ciliary muscles into the sclera, as well as onto the posterior side, it is the space of the choroid, which is and at the short distance from the optic nerve. Second, at the inner surface of the choroid, which also faces the pigment epithelium layer of the retina. So choroid is composed of rich capillary plexus as well as numerous small arteries and veins. So what is situated into the choroid? So into the choroid there are some rich capillary plexus. मतलब there are so many capillaries as well as the small arteries as well as the vein, which are situated into the choroid. Second, we will talk about the ciliary body. So what is ciliary body? So ciliary body, it is the thick and anterior part of the middle layer of eye. So ciliary body, which is thick as well as which is thick at the anterior side, and second, it is situated between the choroid and iris because it is the middle layer of the eye. Now it is also situated in front of the ora serrata. Now it is in the form of the ring. It is a ring-like structure. The ciliary body is a ring-like structure. Now its outer surface is separated from the sclera by perichoroidal space. So the ciliary body's outer surface, which is known as the perichoroidal space, and inner surface of the ciliary body, which will faces the vitreous body and lens. So in the inner surface of the ciliary body, it is there are some lens and vitreous body are situated into the inner surface of the ciliary body. Now suspensory ligament from the lens are attached to the ciliary body. So there are so many ligaments from the lens which are attached to the ciliary body. anterior surface of the ciliary body, which is thick into the diameter. So it will faces towards the center of the cornea. So the structure of the structure of the ciliary body's anterior side, which is faces towards the cornea. From these surfaces the iris arises, and from these surfaces the iris which will arises. Now ciliary body has three parts. So what are these three parts? So first is Orbicularis Solaris, second is ciliary body proper, and third is ciliary processes. So first we will talk about the Orbicularis Solaris, which is continuation with the choroid, and it also forms the posterior two-thirds of the ciliary body, which is about 4 mm into the broadness. So Orbicularis Solaris, which is the first part of the ciliary body, and it is the continuation of the choroid layer of the eyeball, and also it will form a posterior two-thirds of the ciliary body. Second is ciliary body proper. So ciliary body proper, which is made up of the two sets of the ciliary muscles, which first is outer longitudinal and second is inner circular muscle. These ciliary muscles are innervated by the parasympathetic fibers of the oculomotor nerve. So second is ciliary body. Second is ciliary body proper. So this ciliary body proper, which is made up of the ciliary muscles, first name is outer longitudinal and second is circular muscle. Now this ciliary muscles, which are innervated by the parasympathetic fibers and it is circulated by the oculomotor nerve. Third is ciliary processes. So what is ciliary processes? So ciliary processes are the finger-like projection from inner surface of the ciliary body. So it is look like a finger, okay, and okay. So third is ciliary processes. So ciliary processes, which are a finger-like structure from the inner surface of the ciliary body, and these are about 70 ciliary processes, like 70 ciliary finger-like structure will be situated in this layer, which will projecting toward the central axis of the eye and from the radial fringes, which is known as the corona ciliaris. So this is about the part of the ciliary body. Next, third one is known as the iris. So iris is the third layer of the eyeball. So iris, which is the thin colored curtain like a structure. So basically it is the curtain like structure of the eyeball, which is located in front of the lens. So where is the structure is situated? So which is located in front of the lens. Now it will forms a thin circular diaphragm with a circular opening in the central, which is known as the pupil. So this circular diaphragm with a circular opening which into the center, which is known as the pupil. Now iris is formed by the muscle. So first is constrictor pupil or iris sphincter, and second is dilator pupil, which is also known as the pupillary dilator muscle. So first is constrictor pupil and this or iris sphincter muscle. So this muscle which is formed by the circular muscle fibers, and which is contraction of the muscle causes which will cause the constriction of the pupil. So as the contraction of the constrictor or pupillary constrictor muscle has been contracted, at that time the pupil constriction will be occur. Second is dilator pupil. So if it is formed by the radial muscle fiber, second contraction of this muscle will cause the dilatation of the pupil. So this is about the iris and the pupil. So next is there are some wall of the eyeballs like outer layer, middle layer and the inner layer that we already talked about it. Next is inner layer of the tunica, inner layer of the tunica interna or tunica nervosa or retina, which will talk about which is the inner layer of the eyeball, that we will see into the next video. Thank you.